few announcements. Once again, we won't be meeting next week because of the White Elephant sale here. So we're going to have a week off break, and then we are going to resume on the 9th of October. Okay? So just want to make sure everyone is aware of that. Second of all, a few weeks ago, Mary Lou gave me a very nice prayer for the healing of our church, Church Universal at this time. I put the prayers by the name tag, so I would hope that you would pick up one before you leave and pray it with all of us. We will be beginning a novena of prayers for our church, for its healing and its reformation, its cleansing, its restoration, beginning next week. I was going to start this week, but I thought with the break, it'd probably better just to start direct after next week. So we're gonna do that. We're going to be praying a litany to all the holy popes of the church. There have been 266 successors to St. Peter. 90 of them have been declared blesseds or saints. 90 of them. So what we're going to do is pray this litany as a novena to invoke all of their intercession for our church. And that's going to be how we're going to do it. Yes? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Tony.
Every time we meet after we say the rosary, can we also pray to the Archangel, St. Michael?
Oh, St. Michael the Archangel. Oh, that's a good idea. I wouldn't mind that as well. We couldn't, it doesn't hurt to pray a little bit more. That's a good idea, Tony. Very good. Right? What else? Anything else? Oh, yes. I want to give a big shout out to both Nelia and Alvaro for their work in revitalizing our St. Charles Bible Study website. You go to www.stcharlesbiblestudy.com. It's in the bulletin. It's real easy to remember. And you get to this homepage. This homepage has all the class outlines from the book of Revelation. And as you can see, where we ended up. But if you click on the videos link, it'll take you to our current study of the Song of Solomon. Wow. So this is the most recent. Goes back, 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 back. And then this is where we left off with our study in the book of Revelation. What I would like to eventually do is put these in separate folders or separate pages, so that you go to the Revelation one, you go to the Song of Songs, and if you click on these links, you go to YouTube videos, the first one, the second, the third, and then you can see the videos broken up into bits for that day's lesson that we went over. Okay? So, and I like these topics, so that way you can kind of know where we are. It's in the bulletin. It's www.stcharlesbiblestudy.com. Another quick thing to note here. There's my testimony is on here. When this first was created, people wanted to know, who are you? Who's teaching this class? So I wrote a little bit about myself, and I told basically my testimony and where we are now, which was our study of the book of Revelation. I might want to adapt that a little bit. There is also some Catholic web links on here towards media, colleges and universities, Got Questions, Catholic Answers, devotions, publishing house. These are all very faithful publishing houses. Are the Vatican, the UCCSB, United College of Catholic Bishops. I think that should be UCCBS, but anyway. The diocese, our website here at St. Charles, retreat houses, other Catholic resources at CRC. So these should all be good links. I think they're all good links. Because we recently changed this from Immaculate Heart Radio to Relevant Radio, so that's what we have here.
Jim, I just noticed there's 2 retreat houses missing that are nearby.
Yes, these are nearby.
There's 2 missing. Holy Spirit in Encino, Sierra in Malibu.
Oh, well, send me those links and we'll get them added.
There's 2 there to go.
Yeah. These were the ones that I've known about that I've personally gone to, but there are others, then I would like to know about them to add them to it. This is what's in our bulletin, right underneath my address, my email address, is this. So that way people who are interested can go here. If you want to contact me, this links directly to my email. So if you click it, what you're going to get is what you're going to get is a link to my email website. So it will come directly to me. So if you had questions or something you want to talk to me direct, that's what would happen. It would just come to me. Right. This is the one thing that we need to change. But other than that, it might go through some other cosmetic changes, but that's basically our website that we have here. And we can be thankful to both Roy, who started this, along with Arthur, who purchased the website for us from the Young Adults group, Mitch, who also helped in uploading and keeping up the website for the longest of time. Since they're no longer able, Nelia and Alvaro have taken up at this point. So now that we have access to it, we can now change it and keep this up to date with all of those. So just want you to know that our website is up and running. So it's meant to be a vehicle of evangelization. If you want to talk about our Bible study, about our church, you can direct them to this website. They can kind of get a little feel about what it's like to be in Bible study here at St. Charles. So it kind of gives you an introduction to that. Maybe they'll watch some of the videos and have questions. That's, again, a good way to share the gospel, share the mission of our church. Okay? And again, I don't have direct link to, I mean, I do, but this is your project, meaning from you. It began with a few young adults, and now it's being picked up by some other young adults. It's just going to keep going that way. So I very much appreciate all of their work and effort for doing that, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. So again, thank you very much for doing it. The goal is that we'll eventually get all of the videos that were done from the book of Revelation up on here, as well as all of the outlines that were done that go with them, so that you can go back and study it yourself again. But there's so much material, it's going to be a long-term project. Right now, we're just keeping up with the Song of Solomon. So there you are. And there we are. All right. So with that, Before I get to our table talk, I always like to talk a little bit about our meditations here. I like this image of the wedding of Cana. And it's worth noting that here we see Jesus and the stewards pouring the water into these large jars. The translation that we have here says they held 20 or 30 gallons. These were enormous jugs of water used for ritual purification, it says. And Jesus orders them to fill them to the top with water, and then he turns it all into wine. Not just cheap Chardonnay, but I mean the best. As the steward of the feast who tastes it said, this is the best wine. Right? There's so much in this, it could take all night and all next night to go over. Yes?
Chip, if each of those jars hold 20 or 30 gallons, there were a lot of people there.
Yes, there was this was not a little affair. If you've ever been to a Middle Eastern or even a Far Eastern wedding, I mean, it is a huge affair.
Several hundred of them.
Yes, there were probably lots and lots of people there over a period of several days that this went on. It's not like our receptions in our weddings that we go to. I mean, this was a big affair. All the family, all the friends, everyone is celebrating this wedding. So yes, it's a lot of people. What I like particularly also about this image, you see the disciples in the back here looking on, noticing the miracle that is about to take place. But I also like how this artist depicts Mary. Notice that she appears older. Typically, we see pictures of her at this, and she's as young as she was when she gave birth to Jesus. Well, you have to remember that she was close to 50 years old at this time. Because Jesus began his ministry when he was around 30 years old. If she gave birth to him when she was, let's say, 16, that would at least make her 46. And if it was closer to 20, then she was in her 50s. That was quite elderly back then, in those days, when people didn't live past 45. So I like the way that they depicted her with this sense of reality, that she would have been an older woman. Most likely, and very likely, I would have to say at this time, a widow. Because St. Joseph is not mentioned in the Gospels after Jesus' birth. So in a sense, she's a traveling companion with the disciples in the background. Jesus is caring for her as he's ministering throughout all of Judea. Again, she wasn't just sitting at home. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe that she was traveling with them as they were going around. Because remember, they didn't have nursing homes back then. You know what I mean? The family was supposed to take care of your elders. And, well, they did. So if St. Joseph wasn't around and there were no other siblings, direct siblings, it would have been Jesus' responsibility to care for her. So if he's traveling around all over Israel, she's coming along with him. And seeing everything that's going on, too. She's the #1 disciple of Jesus. She saw it all of it. The angel, the star, the wise men, right? She saw it all. So she is the #1 disciple of Jesus. And so here we see him at this wedding. And again, this is very much connected to what our study is in the Song of Songs, isn't it? Because the whole thing is about bridal love, about spousal love, about betrothal. And here is Jesus in the middle of a wedding. giving his approbation to all of it. He is giving his blessing to it all. When they're out of wine, the mother of Jesus says, you know, you can do something about this. And he says, woman, what is this between you and me? My time has not yet come. And what is Mary's response? Whatever he says. Right? I gave the request, but he's got the final word. Do whatever he tells you. And you know what happens after that, right? His first miracle occurs that launches his public ministry, which means that prior to this, Jesus was in obscurity. They didn't know who he was. He was the son of the carpenter. That was it. That was it. This was his first miracle, as John said, that manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. That's significant. John's gospel is an advanced gospel from Matthew, Mark, and Luke, in that, amongst other things, Jesus is bookmarked by Mary. There is an advanced Mariology that is connected with John's gospel. What does that mean? That means she begins his ministry by asking for him to do something at this wedding, and she's where? At the end? At the cross. So unlike the other Gospels that don't mention much of her at all, there's a little bit here and a little bit there, but there's not this book-ending kind of statement. She was there before him, and she's there with him at his end, so to speak. She bookends his ministry, which is, again, an advanced idea, an advanced Mariology. Mariology means the study of Mary. Okay? What's also interesting about this is that this wedding takes place in John's Gospel 7 days after his first appearance.